Hello all, this is Jetacrow, and we're here to do another unboxing video. Today we're going to be looking at Power Rangers Lightning Collection Wave 14. It just came out. We got the Lost Galaxy Pink Ranger, we got the Dino Thunder Black Ranger, which these two both complete their respective teams. We have Dino Thunder Mesogog, so the big bad of that season. We have the Dino Fury Blue Ranger, which gets us to the halfway point of that particular team. And I have one more figure to show off at the very end. But we're going to go ahead and unbox these, take a look, see if I'm once again lucked out as far as quality control. We'll see if everything is in these boxes that are supposed to be in these boxes. We'll see if all the figures are intact. We'll see if everything is in there, like all their accessories. We'll make sure they have the correct accessories. So let's get started with the Lost Galaxy Pink Ranger. As always, I like to do these in season order. So Lost Galaxy, or Season 7 of Power Rangers overall. In the back, let's see. If everything is in the box, we should have a pair of glasses for Kendrix, so that's a nice touch that now they're doing removable glasses for characters that wear glasses. I like that. Her Pink Ranger helmet, of course, the Beta Bow, her Quasar Saber, the holster version of the Quasar Saber, and a lightning effects part. And again, I like the touch here where the full name on the back, Kendrix Morgan. No relation to Kendall Morgan, but I hope we get a Kendall Morgan figure somewhere down the line. So I'm going to get my trusty box cutter, and we're going to go ahead and open this figure. Let's see here. Let's see. Now, the reason why I like doing these unboxing videos on camera is just that the quality control issues for the Lightning Collection have been infamous for a while now, but seem to have escalated around the time they switched over to package-free box. Okay, I'm just going to tear the box open. I don't save the boxes anymore anyway, so. But it seemed like the quality control has gotten even worse. I've been fortunate so far, but if there's any issues, I just want to show you guys on camera right off the get-go. So we're going to set the box aside for now. And here's the tray. Again, I really don't like that they just put the figures in bags. That's probably my least favorite part about the plastic-free packaging. But let's get the figure herself out. And going by the color, it is the right figure. It is Kendrix, the Lost Galaxy Pink Ranger, and she looks good so far. It's actually a really nice likeness of Valerie Vernon. It really looks like her, and so that's always a plus. Sometimes the likenesses are hit and miss, but this one appears to be a hit. No issues with the skirt or anything. I just today I saw someone on Facebook posted pictures of their Pink Ranger figure, and the skirt was put on backwards among other things. But I don't see any issues here. I like to give the figures a joint test when I first take them out of the box, make sure everything's popped loose. She's got the pinless joints on her elbows, so just like Maya. So I expect her and Maya to have the same body mold. That was in the previous video. Double jointed knees feel good. And it looked like they finally resolved an issue that earlier Pink Ranger figures had, where the shade of pink was different throughout the body. Some parts would have slightly darker shade of pink than the rest of the figure, but from what I can tell, this is pretty consistent. I think the connecting part of her leg right above the thigh swivel is slightly lighter, but it's covered by the skirt anyway, so that's not really an issue. But yeah, so that's great. That's great. So no issues with Kendricks. Yeah, that feels good. Alright, so I'm happy with that. Let's go ahead and take a look at the accessories. We're going to make sure that they're all there. Set this aside. I miss the plastic trays, I really do. Supposedly next year Hasbro's gonna go back to having plastic figure or plastic boxes, or boxes with the windows, I should say. And hopefully they will go back to using plastic trays instead of these baggies. I really don't like the baggies. Okay, so here's the accessories. We have her helmet. Feels a little bit gummy in my hand, but looks good. I don't see any issues there. Paint looks good. So, excellent. Here's the beta bow, which is her default formation for the trans daggers. Really, all the Galaxy Rangers could have their trans dagger turned into any of the different formations. They had their default preferences, but I want to say, I think I saw like one episode where maybe Kai used the blue trans dagger to make his own trans blaster, but anyway, I'm digressing. The beta bow looks good. It's painted on both sides. Looks screen accurate to me. So, no complaints there. Here's her pink Quasar Saber. Thankfully, unlike Maya, she does come with her Quasar Saber. So we're only missing one, and this one looks really nice. They even have a different emblem on the back of the saber, if I can get my hand out of the way so you can see it in the light. So there's the Ginga Man logo. They never really gave it a name in Lost Galaxy. And here is the logo of her Galactabeast. So that looks good. And here's the holster version of the saber. So that looks good as well. Her glasses, which we'll take a look at in just a sec, since we got them. I'm gonna swap them out, swap her civilian head out for the helmet in a minute, but let's see here. I think they fit underneath her hair. Yeah, I want to say it should fit underneath the hair and over the ears. Yeah. Yeah. A little tricky. There we go. Get over top the ear. There we go. A little crooked, like she had a wild night out. There we go. Alright, that looks good now. Now she looks proper. But, yeah. I like that. It looks even more like Kendricks with the glasses on. So they did a really good job with this particular likeness. Let's go ahead and pop the head off, though. Because I display my figures with the helmets on. Civilian head popped off easy, which most of them tend to. It's usually the helmets that are a little harder to take on and off. I didn't do a hairdryer on this first, so I'm going to be a little extra careful so I don't break off the ball joint. Does not want to go on. It's loosely on there. I'll get a hairdryer and tighten it up a little bit later, but it's on there for now. If I turn it too much, it's going to pop right off, but I gotta be careful. But there, it's on there. And she does have a pair of holding hands. So once again, I lucked out. Effects part, don't care. So we once again lucked out. Got everything in the box that was supposed to be in there and no QC issues. So yay. We are 1 for 5 so far. Alright, just a sec and we'll clear this out and move on to the next figure. Okay, we're back and now we're going to take a look at Dino Thunder Black Ranger. Dr. Tommy Oliver himself. Again, right there says Tommy Oliver. I like that. Missing the doctor, but that's okay. So if everything is in this box, we should have a pair of alternate hands. Should have his Black Ranger helmet, the Brachio staff, and an effects part. So not as many accessories as the Pink Galaxy Ranger, but he doesn't really need as many accessories, so that's fine. And we're going to go use my trusty box cutter, open this up, and take a look. And I'm just going to tear the box anyway, I don't care. I'm not saving them. Alright, so set that aside, and let's look at the tray. So we got the figure here. And yeah, he feels a little loose. So he definitely feels looser than Kendrick's did, but hopefully not too loose. He does have pins, so they didn't upgrade this body to the pinless, but I guess on the bright side it's more consistent with the other Dino Thunder Rangers, minus Kira, not Kendrick's, Kira. Straighten this up. Thigh swivels feel good. Double jointed knees are fine. I mean, on the bright side, it's not tight, not overly tight. Doesn't feel like anything's going to snap off, so that's always a plus. Ankle swivel and heel joint there. Alright. So everything kid can't quite turn 360. His chin hits the shoulder pads. Yeah. Okay. Other than that, looks good. Brachiomorpher's not painted, but we'll live with that. But other than that, I'm not feeling any. I'll take that back. There's a little bit of a white paint splotch there, right above his love handle. Oh, there we go. Trying to get that to show up on camera. So right there. But depending on the pose, I might be able to cover that up. So the likeness, not the best JDF likeness they've had. Actually, on the camera, it don't look too bad. In person, it actually looks a little off, but with the shadow here, it looks a little better. But alright, we're gonna set him aside, and we're gonna take a look at the accessories. We're up. Oh, I see the Brachio staff just spilled out. Looks like here's your effect part, if you care about those things. I don't. There's the helmet, which, like the Pink Galaxy Ranger, it feels a little gummy. But hopefully that'll, once it, now that it's exposed to air, it'll dry out on its own a little bit, and it'll feel better in a couple of days. But Oh, this looks good. I like the paint on here. Unlike Trent, he has the color trim on his visor, so no having to put in for a replacement for this one. That's always a plus. The color of the eyes that look good. So yeah, really nice helmet, which I'm glad, because this is actually my favorite of Tommy's suits, even more so than his classic Mighty Morphin suits. And I'm going to pop the head off. Civilian head popped off real easy. Let's see if the helmet will go in. And actually, that popped in pretty easy. So, nice. And thankfully, unlike the civilian head, I can do a 360 with his helmet without it bumping into the shoulder pads. So, nice. And he does have both his hands, which I don't feel the need to swap them out, because I am going to pose him with his brachio staff, and he already has his holding hands on, but he has a clawed hand, a spade hand, and he has his fist. So, oh yeah, the pads on the back of his hands are not painted, but that was to be expected. I believe did Connor? Let me check just a sec here. Yep. Yeah, Connor's was the only one that had those pads painted. Ethan and Kira's did not. And here's the brachio staff, which looks good. A little bit warped, but that'll be an easy fix. I'll just run it under some hot water and cold water. It's not warped at that much. A few weeks ago, I got the Blue Centurion. His Synergizer was in much worse shape, but that was fixable as well. But if this was in a plastic tray secured with tape, I probably wouldn't have had this issue out of the box to begin with. So another reason why I wish they would stop putting these figures in little baggies inside a box. But other than that, the brachio staff looks really good. The likeness of the Brachiozord, if I can get it to focus, really good. I mean, the brachio staff is a relatively simple design, but it has quite a bit of paint, so it's good. Can't really. The dial, it looks like there's only two functions on the dial, because the brachio staff in the show, he could twist this around and use different elemental attacks. There should be 4, but there's only 2, but that's not a deal breaker by any means. So alright, let's go ahead and have him wield his weapon. Just a sec here. Yeah, the hand isn't tight, so there we go. Popped right in. So there we go. I'm not doing a formal review here, so I'm not gonna spend time trying to get a really nice pose out of him, but anyway, he does look good. So we are 2 for 5. And let me go ahead and get this cleared out, and we'll move right on to Mesogog. Alright, moving on to the next figure, Dino Thunder Mesogog. One I was particularly looking forward to. I mean, I love villains. I love having villains in the line. So let's see what he's supposed to have in here. A pair of alternate hands and 2 effects parts. That's it, that's about all you can really put in here, because Mesogog never really used weapons in the show. So let's go ahead and open this bad boy up. my trusty box cutter. And by the way, really nice artwork on this box. Really nice. Set the box aside. Here's the tray inside. Look at the figure himself. And there he is, Dr. Anton Mercer's Mr. Hyde himself. Mesogog, one of the best big bads in the franchise. Oh, actually, oh yeah. They did a really great job on this sculpt here. Wow. I'll just rotate the head there. Alright, I think, yep, the jaw is articulated. So cool. Yeah. Nice. That's great. I'm loving this. I like the paint on the fingers. Let's see. Full 360 on the shoulders. His I'm not sure what you would call these, the ribbing on his shoulders kind of keep him from being able to do a full T-pose, but that's about as high as his arms will go. So can't do a full T-pose with him. But okay, we'll live with that. Yep, very nice. Single joint on the elbows, but they got a very satisfying click to them. Alright, thigh swivels, because he is more humanoid than most monsters or villains in the line. His lower body is more what you're used to in the Lightning collection. He has double jointed knees. If I can get the upper part of that joint to bend. Not requiring a little more force than I'm comfortable using right now. Okay, what about the other? Okay, his right leg, the knees, both joints for the knee are much looser on the right leg. Oh, he has boot swivels too, and full articulation on the ankles. Okay. Oops, sorry. Okay. So his left, the upper knee joint on his left leg needs to be loosened up, but other than that, pretty good. He does have a waist rotation, 360, and I don't know if okay, cool. The cloak is slightly movable, so you can get kind of a look at the chest underneath. I'm just trying to see if he has like a ab crunch there. And it looks like he does have an ab crunch underneath his robe. So they really did give Mesogog a lot of articulation. Really nice. Okay. So this, I think, so far is my favorite of this wave, and is probably an early front runner for being one of my favorite figures of the year. And let's get the accessories out of there, which At this point, you know how I'm going to feel about this particular batch of accessories. I'm not saving it anyway. Having trouble opening up the top of the bag. So he's got a closed hand. The fingernails are not, or the claws, however you want to call them, they're not painted on his fists, which I've seen that before in other figures, where the default hands are painted, but the alternate hands are not, and looks like Mesogog is one of those. Let me just make sure they're both the right and left fists, and they are. So we both got, he's got all of his hands, got all his accessories, which this effects part, I think it's supposed to be like a telepathic attack. I think it goes on his head somehow, but yeah, okay, it goes like that. Alright. I mean, I usually don't care for effects parts, but I guess there's not really any other accessories you can give Mesogog that would make sense, other than maybe like a miniature Lothar. You know, that might have been cool, but and then this other effects part looks like it goes on the fist. But let's go ahead. I usually don't even mess around with these, but nope. There we go. Popped out. We're gonna use the left fist. That popped in pretty well. So no hair dryer needed for this one. That's always a plus. And I think it just fits in there like that. Okay. Kind of an upward, so it make it look like he's got a flaming hand, which, okay. That's a weird one. I guess he could have came with like the Dino Gems, like maybe an uncut white Dino Gem or something like that. I don't know, but that's fine. All right, but yeah, this figure is great. Like, he looks great. Everything is there, and it's a villain figure. I'm one of my favorite things about the Lightning Collection is they do a lot of villains, but so far we've only mainly been doing Mighty Morphin and In Space for the villains, and that's fine. I love those seasons, but getting Mesogog from Dino Thunder, that was awesome, and I hope we get more villains from the other seasons. Yeah. Okay. Alright, let me clear this out, and we're going to move on to figure number 4. The Dino Fury Blue Ranger. I knew I was going to slip on that at least once in this video. Alright. Be right back. Alright, we're back with figure number 4. So far in this video, we're 3 for 5. Let's see if we're going to be 4 for 5 in figures with decent quality control. So once again, with my trusty box cutter, we're going to open this box. Looks like tearing the box, but that's fine. Again, I'm not saving these. They're all going in the trash after this video is done. They didn't stay standing for very long. Alright, you guys can just lay down there. That's fine. Right now it's Ollie time, so let's go ahead and take this other bag out of there. Are we... He looks intact. Yeah, it's a pretty good likeness there of Ollie. Not bad at all, which I would expect for them to be able to nail the likenesses for characters from newer seasons. So, as I would imagine, you'd have more resources and probably actually had the actors take face scans and whatnot. Oh, elbow feels really loose. Yeah, that's very loose. I mean, we might be able to work with it. But, okay, wrists are fine. Bicep swivels. Okay. His right arm is a little more firm, what I would expect. But yeah, the left arm is really loose on this one. So that I might be able to work with that. That's a little concerning. Yeah, his upper body, like, this feels really loose too. Like, a little too loose, like, almost feels like a kid's punching bag. Yeah. Right boot swivel is very loose. Left boot swivel has got the right amount of friction on there. So this one's a little bit loose, guys. It's not a disaster, but I'm not the best figure poser anyway. But that might be a concern if I'm trying to do more advanced poses with these figures. Alright, let's check out his accessories here. And you know what, I forgot to take a look at the box for this one, my bad. So we can make sure everything is in there that's supposed to be. So right there we got, supposed to be the figure himself. Got 2 sets of alternate hands. Or not 1 set of alternate hands, 2 sets of hands total, but should have the helmet, the Chroma Fury Saber, and the effects part. Well, so there's the effects part. Here's his Chroma Fury Saber, which slight warp, but nowhere near as bad as Izzy's was a couple videos ago. So no complaints there, and it's painted on both sides, so that's good. Here's his helmet. Looks good. I'm not the biggest fan of the Dino Fury helmets to begin with, but this is screen accurate, and that's really all you want for these figures. Their original designs is not the fault of the toy sculptors. But and he has both his hands, so really easy to tell which one's right and left because they're different colors, blue and silver. So a fist and a kind of a holding hand, which he already has a right holding hand and a splayed hand on him already. Let's go ahead and swap out the head. Civilian head popped off nice and easy, as all of them have so far. Let's see if the helmet goes on without too much trouble. Oops, yeah, dropped in just a sec. Alright, I'm back. And we're gonna see if this helmet fits on without too much trouble. Or am I gonna have to get the old hair dryer? But yeah, it's kind of on there. I'm gonna have to use a hair dryer to loosen it up, but okay. Alright, I might, yeah. It's not on all the way, but it's on there enough for the purposes of this video. So, but yeah, overall, this one looks good. A few of the joints are a little bit loose, but nothing too egregious. So I'm going to go ahead and count this as a win. So we're going to say 4 out of 5. So we got one more figure. As this is all of Wave 14. But I got one more figure to show you guys, a bonus figure. If you saw the haul video, you probably know which one I'm talking about. And we're going to show them off in just a sec. And here is the 5th and final figure for this unboxing video. It is the Turbo Invisible Phantom Ranger. And I just, for comparisons, I went ahead and pulled the regular Phantom Ranger figure out of the display case. My trusty box cutter, we're going to open them up. But first, let's take a look at the accessories here. And if everything is in there, you should have a set of fists, the Turbo Navigator in blaster mode, should be clear plastic, and 2 effects parts, one for the Navigator and the weird chest laser thing that only exists in the Legacy Wars video game. Alright, I already took my trusty box cutter to this box, so we're going to go ahead and open him up. You know what, let me do it from the bottom though, because I've been tearing these boxes, all these boxes in this video, because I keep going open them up from the top. But you know what, the bottom has that tab like the older Lightning Collection boxes had, so I might be tearing them up from the bottom too. Oh well. Again, I'm not saving these boxes. I used to save all my Lightning Collection boxes, but when they switched over to plastic free, I decided to treat them like I do the boxes for other toy lines that I would collect. My rule for boxes for years has been imported toys like SH Figure Arts or Figma, Bishojo. I'll save the boxes, in part because those tend to have a higher resale value anyway. But for domestic toys like Marvel Legends, Star Wars Black Series, Transformers, and Power Rangers, I always, up until now, was always just throwing them away, with the Lightning Collection being the sole exception. But it is no longer the sole exception. It is going to be thrown away just like I do all the other boxes. Really, it's because part of it is most of these toys, they're not really going to be worth much in the long term, and it's really just for my personal collection, not for any kind of flipping, so I don't really need the boxes for that. And the other reason is just space issues. I only have so much space in this house, and like my wife graciously lets me have my man cave and the garage, so I actually technically have 2 man caves, and I can't be letting this stuff spill out into the rest of the house. But anyway, let's take a look at the figure himself. It's, as expected, it's the same mold as the original one. It's just clear plastic, kind of a quote-unquote invisible, which, that's fine. I mean, you would expect them to do that for this for Phantom Ranger. The visor, depending on the lighting, it looks like the visor is black, but it's actually more of a cream color. Put the light directly on the visor, you can see, yeah, actually it's kind of translucent too. So, okay, that's kind of cool. But I like translucent figures. I've always been a sucker for them. I know way back in the day when I collected the Beast Wars toy line, which It's kind of relevant now because of the new Transformers movie, kind of using those characters. But there was one of my favorite figures in there. He wasn't anything special other than the fact that he was translucent. It was Spitter. He was a tree frog, or poison arrow frog, I believe, and he was made out of translucent blue plastic. And that translucent plastic was all it took to make him one of my favorite Beast Wars toys. But anyway, I'm going through all these joints, and there is no issues whatsoever. Yeah, he's... well, that's kind of a cool effect. With the, you know what? With the clear plastic, the ball joint. I could see them maybe using a technique like that if they ever do a Alpha 1 figure from the comics. If you've kind of seen what Alpha 1 looks like, I could see that working. But anyway, yeah, all of his joints are good. The figure looks great. Paint is not an issue with this particular figure. It's I saw some people where the back was kind of warped, but mine looks fine. So, figure himself, 5 for 5, but let's take a look at the accessories. He doesn't have a whole lot, but if they're all there, we're gonna say 5 for 5, and I am continuing to bet 1,000 for these unboxing videos. Alright, don't want to spill out of the bag. I'm going to get to you. So, here's the effects part that goes on his chest. Nice color. Feels like a... like one of those rubber bugs. You know, the big bag of cheap rubber insects. It has that texture. It actually kind of looks like it could be one too. Like, I know there's supposed to be a effects part for his chest, but don't that look like it could be like a camel spider or something, or maybe some kind of mutant, like a face hugger. I don't know. That's cool. I might repurpose this effects part for that, like it's an alien monster that the Space Rangers have to fight or something. But okay, but you know what? All right, that's what you're gonna be. You're a bright orange face hugger. You're not a exploding chest effects part. Alright. Here is the other one, which is your traditional blast effects part. Yeah, toss that. And here's the Turbo Navigator. No, not the weapon he used in the show, but I'll work with it. I like it. It is clear plastic, so it's a win. I like that. Now, only thing left to see if it's in there, if he has both his alternate hands, which I believe are just fists. And yes, they are both in here. Hooray! So there is his right fist. Beautiful clear plastic, and there is the left fist. So, yep, he has all of his accessories. He looks great. Alright, regular Phantom, you go ahead and disappear. And, yes, guys. 5 for 5. I mean, only real issue I have is, the Dino Fury Blue Ranger. A couple of his joints are a little bit looser than I would like, but it's not a deal breaker for me. I mean, I can work with it. So, once again, batted 1,000, guys. I did not have any QC issues or any serious ones. No one is missing any parts, and no one had the wrong limbs or whatever. No super egregious paint errors other than, you know, the Dino Thunder Black has this slight mark underneath his arm, right. I can't even really get it to show up on camera. There it is. Yeah. So that's the only paint error. You know, just a slight bit of white splotch, and I could probably easily fix that with some light black if I care to even bother. I might just leave it as is, and then I'm probably going to have him pose with his arm down anyway, but so it's going to be covered up. But yeah. So guys, ever since I've been doing these unboxing videos, just show you guys if I had any issues. So far I have not. I am very thankful for that. Yeah. I'm very happy right now. So once again, 5 for 5. Great. Guys, thank you for watching this video to the end. There's another one right up there. There's another one right down there. You can subscribe right there. I hope when you get your Lightning Collection toys that they're also in excellent condition. Later, and